Ủa, kìa, cái chỗ tắt mic đâu trời. Start new share. Ủa, sao nó không có ở đây ta? Nằm tốt trong đây. Mute.
Well, I see you dug up the original movie poster. Oh boy, that takes me back. Wait, whose volume does that control?
We digitally cleaned up the old 35 millimeters. Much nicer now, huh?
Yeah, well, actually, I hadn't noticed. It looks all right. Hey, is this thing on? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, all good.
All right, we're going to start the commentary track now. Hello, Dan Smith here. I directed this film back in, well, it feels like a century ago. Yeah. The studio asked me to provide a commentary track for the DVD release. And wham! Straight into the action. No fluff or anything. That's what we did back then. Crash-landed ship. Out pops our hero, the fearless Dick Starspeed.
The ship's velocity reactor is damaged. I believe that I am stranded on an alien planet.
Played, of course, by actor Jonathan Digby. Went on to some minor roles after this. Such a shame. I thought from day one this guy's got leading man written all over his face. I've often asked why Dick breaks these boxes. He actually ad-libbed it. I told Jonathan, always keep things exciting.
Greetings, citizens of Gravoria. I am Dick Starspeed, and I come in peace.
Probably shouldn't have had Dick draw his weapon when he was talking about peace. Well, maybe one day we'll go back and CG it into a sandwich or something instead. Ha! Just kidding. And this is what people pay to see. A no-name middle-aged B-list actor duking it out with stuntmen in costumes. Such stunning choreography. Now, the extras in those robot suits really knew how to take a punch. Oh, literally. I told Jonathan not to hold back. Give it all to him. Kick him in the nuts and bolts. And I know what you're thinking, but don't worry. We handled it responsibly. We made them all sign waivers not to sue for injuries.
Holy smokes! If I land squarely on that grain silo, I should survive this fall unscathed.
I shouldn't say this now, but you could actually see the strings if you squinted hard enough. A screenwriting trick from back in the old days. You put a grain silo or some haystacks down and it solves all your gravity-related problems.
It appears some of my equipment was lost when my ship was shot down. But what luck! This high-tech scanner reports that my ray gun is nearby.
Oh, the dinosaurs! You just don't see quality stop motion like this anymore, do you? Someone actually sat there and moved them, frame by frame. Today, it'd be done with computers, but where's the artistry in that? The trees here look a little plastic. Well, it's because they are. I took them from the set of my last film, Vampire Island 2. We got our fair share of nasty letters from scientists complaining about our portrayal of the dinosaurs. Was news to me. Apparently, these stegosauruses weren't meat eaters. Must have preferred shellfish or something. Wow, how do they know? That's what I say. as usual, the local population is defenseless. That's where our hero steps in and saves the day. We put Jonathan through a lot shooting this film. He wasn't the best actor, especially when reacting to getting hit. He's what you call a flincher. So I told the stuntman to really just go to town on him. It's the only way to get an honest performance sometimes. Our props master tried to make the weapons soft,
into what
but
appears to be
there's only so much you can do. Lucky for us, Dick's entire body was covered in that spacesuit. That thing was a lifesaver when it came to hiding bruises. You'll notice the gold disappears when Dick touches it. We had a deleted scene that explained he's actually teleporting it back to his ship. It's funny, no one ever questioned how Dick was able to walk around with an infinite amount of gold on him. We had to redo these shots. Our first attempt was kind of a disaster. We tried using real apes, thought it'd cut down on the costume budget a bit. But have you ever tried working with apes? They are the worst actors ever. They don't sit still for a moment, and the second you take your eyes off of them, they're flinging their feces all over the place. Jonathan refused to work with them after he got, well, let's just say that he had to take more than a couple of showers one day. You know, you never forget the smell of monkey poo. We steam cleaned the studio top to bottom. Still never got rid of it entirely. All through the rest of the shot, we kept finding those little surprises hiding inside various props. Boy, were those the days. Some really top-notch stop-motion effects, huh? Unfortunately, we skimped on the Dick Starspeed puppet a little.
The Earthman is not for you to eat, fiend!
Oh, this was groundbreaking. We had the woman rescuing the man for once. We were really ahead of our time with this scene, but well, then again, I've always been rather progressive. The studio exec didn't seem to get why it was such a big deal, though. Sorry, we don't see this as anything unusual. Ha! Of course! It's unusual. A woman would never save a man. It just doesn't happen. Not in the movies, not in real life. I don't know why we didn't get more recognition for this scene. I guess I was just a little too ahead of my time.
Thank you for saving me, strange woman. What is your name?
I am the magnificent Scarlet Nova. Do not question my motives. Just be happy that you are still alive. I must speak with my father at once. I shall teleport to his chambers.
So we'll be seeing our first example of teleportation being used by Scarlet right here. As soon as this current shot ends...
Huh? Where is this place? This is not my father's chambers.
You have disobeyed me for the final time, Scarlet. Enjoy an eternity in the Tower of Eternal Solitude. For all eternity!
Ha! The old fool did not notice I am wearing my jetpack.
Booster usage. Jump. Wait. Wait. Use booster. Survive deadly fall.
Scarlet didn't quite realize she needed to shoot those energy orbs down below. Keep in mind, Stacy was doing this on a soundstage, okay? The energy imps. Such a neat effect. We had to paint each movement frame by frame and superimpose it into live footage. We were pulling all-nighters for weeks. Well, when I said we, I meant the artists. I'm pretty much useless if I don't get a solid 10 hours a night. But they were at it forever. They had to redo it all because I accidentally told them red instead of blue the first time. Artists.
My father revoked my access to the teleport terminals. I shall only be able to utilize the ones I activate manually.
some of these shots are dragging on longer than I remembered.
Ah, I knew you would return.
Puny Earthman, you shall help me overthrow the Emperor.
Why would you turn against your own father? How do I know I can trust you?
Oh, this scene. This is practically Shakespeare in outer space.
Just as the entire planet does.
And, huh? Patrick, what's wrong with the video?
Sorry, sir. Technical problems.
Darn it, we're missing some really good writing here.
There. Sorry about that.
Well, we just passed right by her big scene. Basically, they agree to work together, but one must stay behind in the sleep chamber at all times.
Should I rewind?
Never mind. I'll continue from here. Right from the start, our budget was a little tight, even by standards back then. To make do, Tony shot a couple scenes in black and white. Originally, he intended to use it for flashbacks. But then I had to break it to him. Our film doesn't have flashbacks. We almost made it a silent film just to cut costs. An absolute necessity we have a T-Rex in this film, but we got this Serato thing instead. Of course, I went through the whole production thinking it was a T-Rex because, really, who can tell the difference anyway?
It would appear that now is the time for us to climb the Deadly Tower of Monsters.
Good screenwriting 101. Always announce the title within the film itself. How else are you going to let the audience know your heroes really mean business? Now, that weapon, it's just an electric shaver, but, you know, I bet you'd never guess it was, would you? They look so futuristic. I could have made use of that one at some of our meetings with the studio. Oh, you'd like to see records of where our budget went to this month? Sure, let me get that for you right now. Foom, foom. Yeah. Unfortunately, those meetings ended in a much different way. I know a taxidermist who helped us out with these bat creatures for real cheap. He's not good. He's kind of sloppy if you want to know the truth. But that's the best part. A sloppy bat looks scarier. Oh, but you gotta sew up that sphincter. Just trust me on that one. The squids. Some board member had these nephews who really wanted to be in the films. They made me cast them as squids. Whatever happened to artistic integrity? If you're going to cast a role not on merit, at least let it be a hot female role. My effects team kept assuring me the strings wouldn't be visible in the final cut, but I could see them. No transparent nylon. This stuff will do the trick. Yeah, right. I swear, those darn strings is what made my hair go white.
Air teleport usage. Jump. While in the air, use teleport. Quickly return to upper floor.
You don't want to miss a single minute of this scene. The nuclear ants. Hey, we need to remind the audience our heroes are climbing a tower, so I needed something that would stick to walls. Originally, we had these web-footed what-have-yous. Not very scary. And then I left some cake out in my trailer, and it was crawling with ants in the morning. And that's when it hit me. What is the most obnoxious thing in the world? Some people thought it was odd that a simple wooden cage would have such an elaborate high-tech lock. But hey, if a Gregorian ever traveled to Earth, I'm sure they'd think a lot of our stuff is weird too.
Oh no! This head belonged to my co-pilot robot. He was the most loyal companion in the galaxy.
Dick. Malfunction. Dick. Malfunction.
These Gravorians will pay dearly for this, my friend.
Now, what's a space adventure film without a trusty robot sidekick, huh? Am I right? In the original draft, we had Dick and Scarlet team up with an alien from the planet's surface. You know the type, pointy ears, wise and emotionless. But then we came to our senses and realized that a giant tin can robot's way cooler. Besides, everybody was doing the alien thing back then. You know me, I'd rather be a trailblazer. The insurance company made us install those safety guards after our actors fell off the set one too many times. Granted, they kept falling off even with the rails, but thanks to how the contract was laid out, we were no longer liable for their injuries. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess it's time to talk about the elephant in the room. Why on earth does this crazy film have title cards on screen when people are talking? You're thinking that, aren't you? I know you are. I would be too. Well, we had thought about making it a silent film at one point, so we shot a lot of scenes up close like this, with the dialogue written out for the audience to read. Well, when we swapped over to making a talkie, well, we just decided to keep on going rather than reshooting all those scenes. Best part about being in showbiz, craft services. It's like never-ending supply of free food all day long. I never had to pay for a single meal. Hey Patrick, I notice you guys don't do that here in your studio. You should talk to your boss. Maybe even just a bagel station. nitpicking science community also complained about these Terra whatevers breathing fire, like there's fossil evidence of dinosaurs not ever shooting fireballs. It's not like I gave them neck frills or had them spit poison or anything ridiculous like that. As luck would have it, the next lot to ours was filming some horror movie set in Transylvania. So we signed a soft contract with them to use their set after they wrapped for the day. And by that, I mean we kind of snuck in and filmed it real quick when no one was looking. I had my assistant Phyllis keep a lookout for the security guard. Some real action. Nothing like an adrenaline boost to get our hero to really start wailing on those monsters. We were unsure how to represent a surge of adrenaline at first, but I think we nailed it. Yep, definitely nailed it. Originally, we shot this scene with Scarlett using the landmines, but then I came to my senses and we reshot with Dick. I mean, a woman using high explosives? This may be a science fiction, but we have to keep things at least somewhat believable. Hey, most days, the effects team really nailed it. Dinosaurs, saucers, hey, you name it. But these, deflating rock, boulder, cubes, not their best work. Just looks kind of odd, if you ask me, like giant whoopee cushions. And they said they could add some debris and explosions or two afterwards. And then we ran out of budget. Well, to be fair, we ran out of budget several times, but still, I lost a lot of sleep over these rocks. We shot so much of this film outside, it was a nice change of pace doing interior scenes like this. tried this one with regular logs. Well, that was disastrous. I'll tell you, never mess with physics. It was kind of, well, to be frank, it started out nice, but then, well, it was a death trap. Just plain and simple, it was a death trap. Poor kid holding the boom almost broke his leg. Guess he played basketball in college or something, because he leaped right at the last second. Whew! Crisis averted. My props guy wanted to swap them with some spongy material for safety, but I had a better idea. Let's set the logs on fire. Then the crew will be sure to be safe dealing with them. Even though we created these conveyor belts for Stacy's character, Jonathan was always trying to run across them to no avail. I probably should have told him that we slowed the belt down whenever Scarlet runs across, but I got a real kick out of watching him try. Say, you know what I was thinking? With all this jumping and climbing and jumping, wouldn't this make a great video game? Isn't that what all those video games are about? Jumping around?
Well, yeah, and killing. There's jumping too. Mostly killing.
What? Patrick, that's awful. What sort of example are we setting for our youth?
Well, movies are pretty violent too. Your heroes have killed everything in sight. You had Dick shooting a dinosaur in the face in the first 5 minutes.
Well, Patrick, that's different, you know? What we did on film, that was art. Video games aren't art. Funny story about the two caged apes in this scene. I had completely forgotten about them when we wrapped up filming on the set. Then we spent the next day doing a location shoot. So, suffice it to say, our return to the studio was met with a couple of grumbling tummies complaining about unsafe work conditions, human rights, yada, yada, yada. Hey, Patrick, I was thinking we should take a little break and get a bite to eat. You like Chinese? I know a great takeout.
Well, we're not scheduled for a break for another few hours.
Nonsense. Hey, you have to try the shrimp. It's the absolute best. But, oh, hey, I feel like I should warn you. It gives me horrible gas. But that's okay. We're friends, right?
Really, sir. Studio time costs a fortune. Let's just stay on schedule.
Good thinking. We could grab a real dinner together and go out for a night on the town, yeah. Two young bachelors on the prowl. Say, where do you youngsters go these days? This movie may not have made the big splash in Hollywood or even made the budget back for that matter, but hey, in the end, I think it was still worth making just for those die-hard fans that really love it. I attended a lot of sci-fi and movie cons, and to this day, I still see fans showing up dressed as aliens and apes and dinosaurs. Does a man proud. Now, granted, their costumes aren't exactly 100% faithful to the film, and it seems that no one ever remembers them by the right name. But still, knowing that we still have fans like this promoting the film decades later, it puts a tear in this old director's eye. I get all emotional. Okay. Tony and his insistence on lens flare. I tell you, some days it felt like he was trying to be the director. Honestly, you could see dust on the lens, so just go and wipe it off myself. He would get so upset about it too. Like my fingers aren't clean enough to wipe the lens. I've touched the lens, whatever.
Danger! Human speed is not enough to pass through that fan. Chance of death 100%. Retrieve the time vortex device if you wish to go any further. Searching. Time vortex device detected. Device in dangerous area. Nuclear amps everywhere.
Hey, now what's going on? This Drake. You got. No, no, another fake scene. I was trying to push a new style of filmmaking. Have the hero do absolutely nothing from time to time. These nice still shots are great, aren't they? Just hold still, leave the camera way back like that, admire the music and the set pieces. Yeah, this was certainly one of those more contemplative moments. Our actors really like that whole method acting thing.
So, do we get any backstory on Dick? Why'd he travel to Gravoria in the first place? Did he do any research before landing there? Did he have a specific mission in that region of space?
Patrick, if you keep getting bogged down by the details, how will you ever learn to just sit back and appreciate the work of art for what it is? Tip, ladies and gentlemen, no matter how sunny it is, don't store your papier-mâché props outdoors. They will get rained on. It's the law in this town, like Occam's razor or Stockholm syndrome, or I forget what it's called.
What in the cosmos? It's my co-pilot's body! I believe that I can repair him. Oh no! I am trapped!
Master Dick. Master Dick. Good. Functions restored. Good. Threat detected. Must eliminate.
Fun fact, we actually had an actor inside the robot suit moving him around. I bet you thought it was an actual robot, huh? That's how good he was. No rest breaks or anything. Hardest working actor I've ever met. What a trooper. It was a shame we couldn't afford to pay him. And of course, since he wasn't on the payroll, I couldn't officially add him to the credits. But still, what a trooper. Wish I had a dozen actors like him.
Dangerous radiation detected.
Ooh, the fearless sea monster, always patrolling the shore, eagerly awaiting for his next meal. No, No, we didn't use the same material for the toxic waste as we did the slimes. I mean, why fake something when you have the real deal available? We found a place where people were just dumping the stuff away for free. I was hoping the crew members handling it might get some cool superpowers from it, but no, nothing like that.
Alien slimes terminated. I will strike down upon you with great vengeance and furious anger.
Oh, Robot, you're all right! And you saved the day.
You're Fred eliminated.
Looks like the Emperor's days are numbered. At long last, we have assembled our team.
A lot of reviewers and fans, too, always wondered why we shot so few scenes with all three heroes in it together. I mean, we did our best to explain it. Something about the sleep chambers or staying back to protect the ape village. Really, it was just logistics. Jonathan had bowling league on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Stacy had her karate Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Honestly, we almost never had all of them on the set at the same time. Our robot actor was in some religion that only allowed him to work on Sundays. I'm still a little skeptical about that one, though.
Sir, it's just a guy in a suit. Couldn't you have gotten just about anyone to stand in as the robot?
See? That's why you'd make a horrible director, Patrick. His touches were subtle, to say the least. But he really brought a lot of character to the robot role.
If he was so indispensable, how come you didn't list the actor in the credits?
Well, let's just say it was an oversight. But I've learned my lesson. I only made the mistake 6 more times throughout my career. These rickety old things, the higher up they went, the more they sounded like they were gonna fall apart. I'm amazed that no one ever got hurt, or worse, riding these things. Well, there was the actor we originally cast for Dick's role, but we don't talk about him. Start to get a sense of how high up our heroes have been climbing here. Reminds me of how the crew always used to comment on how high everyone was. Those jokers, they'd even say it when we were filming the grounded scene. And they all giggled like school children whenever they mentioned it too. So I'd make sure to laugh even harder so they'd know I was in on the joke. Whatever it was.
This beast here. I must make for higher ground.
you moved bits and pieces around and created whole new scenes. We were efficient. I adopted that technique to my wardrobe.
Whoa, my bad. Don't worry, I have the right clip now.
I cannot fight this beast here. I must make for higher ground.
Sets back then. Props, walls, you name it. Then, you moved bits and pieces around and created whole new scenes. We were efficient. I adopted that technique to my wardrobe, too. If you mixed and matched efficiently, you could get by for years on only a handful of shirts and underwear. Never get enough of these free-falling shots. Something so invigorating and freeing about them. Like sticking your head out of the sunroof while driving on the freeway. I hear modern science fiction directors sometimes put the lens flare in on purpose. Why on earth? What's the next trend? Dead fly on the lens? Jeez. Watch. You won't believe me, but you just watch. It'll happen. Some big shot will do it for one scene, and the following year, everyone will be doing it.
Dr. Peculiar,
Yes, Your Eminence.
release the Mechamelion!
But Your Eminence, the Mechamelion isn't ready.
What is the meaning of this? I thought he was completed.
Genius is never completed, Your Eminence. I was just preparing to install a chainsaw on his tail.
Enough! Your tinkering costs me precious gold and time. You do not have that luxury, Dr. Peculiar.
Yes, Your Eminence. Releasing the Mechamelion at once.
Ah, Ludwig. Yeah, good old Ludwig. We cast an actual doctor to play Dr. Peculiar. Never again. Oh my God, he was a cranky old coot. May he, rest in peace. The costumes, the script, the creature effects, you name it, he wouldn't stop criticizing everything. Well, in his defense, I think he did have some early signs of dementia or something. He was always getting lost on set, forgetting his lines, making up new ones. Yeah, it was cute. Midway through a scene, he'd just yell, "Where are my pills?" It was like a catchphrase. We almost left a few of them in. I have to say that the incredible job the animators did with the King Gorilla can only be outdone by their work in the Mechamelion. I'll leave further comments for later in the film, but this was truly an epic creation. Here we see our first glimpse of a technique I used throughout the movie. Want to make a big scary monster look even more menacing? Put it in a dome. Monster doesn't look scary enough already? Put it in a dome. Want the audience to know when a monster really means business? Put it in a dome. saucers. Oh, these guys were just adorable. I was a huge fan of the old classic movie, The Flea from 1958. So I created this monster as sort of an homage, in respect to that film. I have the darndest time with that word, homage. Man, oh man, that whip. We probably should have invested in some training courses so the actors knew how to properly handle it, but instead we just let them flail it around wildly. You know that saying, it's all fun and games until someone loses an eye? That's true. And that's the story of why the Emperor wears that metal monocle. Greg was a real trooper about it, though. Didn't even seem fazed that he'd have to wear an eye patch for the rest of his life. I think he went on to do some pirate-themed promotions at his used car lot once we wrapped up production.
Is my mech chameleon? Why has it not pulverized the intruders already?
I was installing photon lasers into its eyes. I hadn't finished. So, the mech chameleon might be somewhat, well, blind.
My indomitable guardian is blind? I do not tolerate failure, Doctor.
Getting these two to do their scenes together was enough to make your head spin. They weren't, strictly speaking, actors. Well, not in your usual sense. Ludwig here, or Dr. Peculiar, actually was a doctor. I think I told you that before. Greg, our Emperor, well, that's a whole different can of beans. Our casting guy found him at a used car lot. Greg talked him into buying just a horrible car. Thing never ran. Oh, then when he tried to get his money back, Greg just laughed maniacally. So, doggone it, he offered Greg the role right on the spot. He said, "Dan, this guy is perfect." We were running out of extras and clay sculptures, but we needed more monsters. Oh, please, more monsters. So we had this brilliant idea. If you stick a puppy inside an old vacuum cleaner, wham, instant monster. Throw in a string of Christmas lights and it's camera ready in 5 minutes. And that had to be some kind of world record or something. Fun fact, boys and girls, cinematographers don't like it when you use their dog without asking permission first. But hey, to that I say, what goes around comes around. Little Buster here ruined so many shots barking all day long. You don't want me to grab your dog and cover him in Christmas lights? Well, don't bring him to work. We're about at the altitude where Dick's rocket ship had crash landed at the start of the film. When I think back about all the work we did, building this darn tower and making models and costumes and sets and props, and then trying to keep it all straight during filming and not getting anything all mixed up. It's exhausting. Just thinking back on it is exhausting. I wish I could tell my younger self to just direct romantic comedies. It's the only way you'll get a good night's sleep. Ah, yes, the rotating contraption things. We actually used Ferris wheel parts from an old amusement park. I think it was called Disneyland.
Disneyland? Isn't that kind of close to...
Yeah, and the courts agreed with you. They shut him down before they opened the gates.
Well, it's their own fault, I guess.
Well, naturally, my production team swooped right in and bought up everything they could get their hands on. So I guess there was a silver lining to their legal battles. One man's lemon is another man's lemonade. Or however that saying goes. Fun fact, the statue of the Emperor is actually as big as it looks on screen. Yeah, we were going to use a small model and green screen it, but then Greg offered to fund building a life-size version. He was planning on setting it up front and center of his used car lot. Apparently, he ran into some issues with zoning laws. Yeah, I told him he should just play dumb and put the thing up anyway, but he wouldn't listen. I guess that's why he's still running that same lot, whereas I've been barred from filming in 12 different states. If I told you how much gold paint we used on these darn sets, you wouldn't believe me. We were originally trying to decorate this whole set in precious stones. I wanted that sparkling effect, but then my props guy shook his head. I've learned that when he shakes his head, it's best to go with Plan B. Unfortunately, Plan B meant a cement mixer filled with gold paint. It was so much hard work, even I had to finally roll up my sleeves, dive in, and call some interns from the community college. Man, there's nothing college kids won't do for free pizza. In this scene reminds me of a big fight I had with the studio head. Word to the wise, when the guy funding your movie offers you a suggestion, stupidest idea ever is a phrase you should shy away from.
I have come here to end your empire and free these apes from your tyranny.
You? Tell me, do you think I need these pitiful creatures to run my empire? Allow me to show you something. As you can see, I do not need those darn dirty apes. It is a kindness that I allow them to survive. I give them work so they believe their life has purpose. All I truly want from them is their gold.
Gold? Ha! What gold?
Have you not seen the result of Gravoria's planet-wide radiation? When living beings die, their bodies are transmuted into solid gold. The apes are useless. I send my minions to harvest more gold for my empire.
You are a cruel, heartless monster.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Whoa, that scene always makes me woozy. Hey, Patrick, I think we need a break. Imagine one of those on your average elevator? Still, it's even worse when you press all the buttons on a real elevator. People get so annoyed when you do that. just click, click, and make all this in 3D with those computers or something. But no computers here. No, heck no. I still don't know how to work one of those damn contraptions. Set construction 101. To make it look nice, you gotta make it look shiny. That's the secret ingredient, you know. Production babies while making this movie. One of them was even named after one of the characters, Maximilian J. Peterson. skydiving myself, but I have a crippling fear of heights.
Wow, really? So, was this movie your way of tackling that fear head on?
Nah, this movie is what gave me my fear of heights. By the end of it, I was directing scenes with my eyes closed to keep from getting panic attacks.
Now it's all starting to make sense.
Drats! First you destroy my mechamillion, now you shattered the Dynadrome. Now they all escape. Do you have any idea how difficult it will be to recapture them all?
Dr. Peculiar, why is my dinosaur army running amok? Oh, well, let them roam the island.
But, Your Eminence, what if we trample on some of my hybrid specimens? That would be like turning Gregor Mendel's pig arm into soup and forcing him to drink it.
Mendel Schmendel, Doctor. I gave you gold to spawn me a dinosaur army, and I expect my army to kill thee!
Your Eminence, but whatever you command, it is so hard to believe science under these conditions.
The stop-motion team was so stellar, and they worked for peanuts. They really did. I just couldn't get enough of them. The script called for a lot of dinosaurs here, so I said, hey, let's set the record. I told the team I wanted a minimum of 30. Of course, we found out later we were absolutely nowhere near the world record. But I didn't have the heart to tell them. I made them eat some fake plaques and sent them their way.
Okay, now you can stop. No need to go further. If you break even a single egg, why, I'll... No, not my Tyrannosaurus Rex! You Neanderthal! you're happy now. Welcome to a world with no genetically modified carnivorous dinosaurs.
We're falling or lightning switch. Searching. Available rocket ship detected.
Space station. Space, the final frontier, where no man has gone before. These are the voyages. Whoops, sorry, I got kind of carried away with something else there.
is this? These are men! Other than my father and the scientist, I had never seen men on Gravoria before.
It's funny because when she says that line, it almost sounds like she's insulting Dick's masculinity. None of us caught it in the filming. But at the premiere, I saw the reaction on Jonathan's face. Whoops. No!
You're... Who are you? You're... Illogical. You are not an Earthling.
Complained that the fight scenes went on a little too long in my movie, that there wasn't enough story and exposition. Excuse me, what kind of movie did you decide to go see? An action movie, you say? Last time I checked, dialogue wasn't a movie genre. Hey, that frog toy gun always makes me chuckle. A frog-shaped gun that shoots flies.
You're... Doctor, from where did those clones originate?
larger than I ever imagined. My father never told me about this place.
Ah, that is because he does not know it exists, my dear. He supplies me with gold, and I hand him little robot toys he can play with. Little does he know, I divert most of the gold into my own experiments. Experiments like my army of atomic monkeys.
The doctor. After the first few outbursts, I tried firing him. He was heartbroken, devastated. And then the next day, he'd just show back up to work, like nothing happened. I couldn't bear to fire the man twice. That look on his face the first time. Well, I just made it work. In retrospect, he was a bit creepy, though. Always hanging around the ladies' makeup trailer. So creepy. Oh, well, who can blame him? We had some really nice eye candy on the set. But he was creepy. Invisible men are always cool, and the great thing is, they're easy to cast because of obvious reasons. Actually, that's what I wish I was when my ex-wife or IRS come knocking at my door. Forget I said that. Patrick, we've been recording for a while. Can we take a break now?
Well, we're a little behind, but sure, let's take a 5.
Oh, man. Man alive, that feels great to get those headphones off. Whew. Whew. That's a load off my shoulders, which it's actually a load off my head, which is a load off my shoulders. But anyway, you know, I gotta level with you. Most of the cast, not that great. Worst acting I've seen, probably. Yeah, we'd shoot some scenes a dozen times just to get it right. Hey, Hey, you're not recording any of this, right?
Oh, nah, it's all good. I'll just make a note to edit this stuff out.
Wait, did the actor just pick up a film reel? So that's what happened to all my missing footage. Oh, how did I ever let this make it into the final cut? That was an odd one. He used to tell me that after he makes it big, he doesn't want to be Jonathan Digby anymore. He wants to be J. Dig. He thought it would start a trend or something. Can you imagine that? The first letter of his name and then the first syllable of his last name? It's so absurd. That's the sort of thing that would never catch on. Oh, especially in the entertainment industry. We had these space cogs strewn across the planet for the heroes to pick up, to explain how they're able to keep improving all their equipment.
But how does adding gears to something like a baton or sword suddenly make it better? I mean, how do gears even factor?
Hey, Patrick, let me stop you right there. Are you an engineer?
Well, technically, I'm an audio engineer.
Exactly. Didn't think so. Hey, keep that in mind next time you criticize things outside your realm of experience.
Of your backyard.
These sleep chambers were pretty much a mystery. Just how in the world do they work? Are they teleporting the heroes somewhere? Shrinking them down? Who knows?
But, sir, shouldn't you know? I mean, it's your movie.
Patrick, a director can't know everything about his film. If he did, it would be no fun for him to watch it. Also, I called in sick a lot, so a lot of the scenes were handled by my cinematographer. Do you have any idea what sort of blood, sweat, and tears went into creating this army and making them all move around on cue? No, seriously, do you? Because I'm still stumped by this. I watched the scenes and I just, flabbergasted by the amount of work someone must have done to make all this happen. tried a lot of names before we settled on Dick Starspeed. Let's see, we had Lance Laser, Gary Galaxy, Samuel Satellite, Nacho Nova. That was my favorite. Yeah, we did a whole lot of those same first letter thing for a while there. The execs wanted us to go with Dick, though. For a while, we were going to go with Dick Missile, I think. The studio didn't care much, as long as we steered clear of Uranus and black holes. Dick Missile penetrating deep into a black hole, then going to Uranus. That would have been a knee slapper. Had a blood vessel burst in her eye on our first day of shooting and tried asking for the rest of the day off. You expect us to pay you nothing to do nothing? I told her. But then it gave me the idea for these exploding eyeball monsters, so I let her take a full 15-minute break for lunch that day.
Why did you film so many scenes of your actors dying anyhow?